Hello, RC friends. Today, I want us to talk about that difficult subject of flying fixed wing RC planes. Now, we all know that for rotary wing, especially the quad that we're all used to, it is pretty easy. It hovers, and so you have enough time to rotate it to any direction you want. Now, that is never the case with RC fixed wing RC aircraft. With this, before you stay afloat in the air, your aircraft must be at a very high speed, high enough so that you have the pressure differential for lift. Now, most people, especially those who are first time builders, crash the RC planes. In fact, for the first 5, 6 build and flights, you are sure to crash. You may be using simulators on the PC. That is easy to go by because it is stabilized for you. Unfortunately, the bad news is that in real life, that is never the case. So let's go about the basics of flying RC aircraft. How do you get efficient on transmitter control? Now, first, let's begin with the aircraft that you have to choose. First, for a beginner, for a beginner, the best recommendation is a high wing aircraft. That means that the wing is high up there, and then the whole weight, your battery, your motor, everything is below the battery line. First, CG or center of gravity is below the center of lift, and you have that pendulum effect. So the aircraft will be pretty stable, and that is recommended for a beginner. Secondly, do not choose a ground launch aircraft. It is better to go for a hand launch because the initial velocity, which is the rotation speed, you have your hand muzzle power to send the aircraft high in the air. But if you choose for yourself for a ground takeoff, then you have to deal with the first difficult task of getting the aircraft to run straight. Of course, you need that straight movement to generate enough lift. And for most RC beginners pilots, you are going to crash your aircraft and you are going to break your heart as well. So to save yourself of that pain and that heartbreak, it is better to have a hand launch model. Once you provide the muzzle power, you are already in the air, then you can start piloting in it. If for some reason you choose to go by or go for a ground launch aircraft, then let's look at it. So I have the runway in view. Let me reach out for my transmitter. For any RC pilots, you realize that in most videos the pilot will be standing to the side of the aircraft. So if I am here and I can do this and then you control it from the left side of the aircraft. It doesn't come so easy. It comes with surprise by experience. So for a beginner, if you begin with a ground launch, the best practice is to stand directly behind your aircraft so that at least you know straight ahead of you which direction the aircraft is going. You will need to put the plane at a very high speed, a high velocity so that you can rotate. So for the ground launch, you can be behind the aircraft and then you get to know exactly where it's going. You can correct a bit by speed. If you are good enough, if you're also skilled enough, then as whether you are left-handed or right-handed, then you can choose to stand either by the left side or the right side. What is that? If you are a beginner, you are not sure, better go for a hand launch aircraft. If you also find you want to go by ground launch, then it's best you stand behind the aircraft and then you propel it. Once you are done, that will give you a measure of safety so that you don't break your heart and break your plane. Okay. Now let's come to transmitters. Camera will come to this side. How do you get your transmitter to work right? Camera crew, can look me in the eye. Look me in the eye. All right. So this is your aircraft. The orientation is forward this way. You are behind. with my transmitter in my hand this way. All right. So time to fly. How do we go? Now for fixing aircraft, for a beginner, once again, do not worry about using radar. So you get a very simple model, just with the ailerons or just a single radar, and you're good to go. Then with your elevator. On the left side, you have your throttle up and down. Then you have the rudder left and right. For a beginner, you don't need to worry about rudder. So just push your power, it stays there, then you are good to go. For your takeoff run, any powerful aircraft, RC aircraft, should lift off 80% throttle. You'll be good to go, be ready to pull back on the elevator. So let's come here. Now here, in a vertical plane, the y-axis, we have up for elevator down or pitch down. In that case, the aircraft goes down. Then we have the elevator down or pitch up, the aircraft, which is upwards. Now in this case, it is easy to come by. Then we have aileron left this way, the aircraft goes to the left. Then aileron right, the aircraft goes to the right. There would never, once again, there will never be any moment during the entire flight that you will have straight forward or backwards or straight left or side or rightwards. There is never any moment in fixed wing aircraft where you have smooth pitch up, smooth pitch down, roll left or roll left, right. No. At any moment in point, the aircraft is combining or doing any of these two. So here on the transmitter, you are usually flying in between either this corner, either you are pitching down and right, or this corner, either you are pitching up and right, or you are pitching or moving in this corner, which is pitching up and left, or you are pitching down and left. So it is combined. Once again, the word is combined. So once you are ready for takeoff, you pull on your power, you're able to pull back the elevator, then pitch up. No, you won't get it straight. Be prepared for the aircraft pitching or rolling left or rolling right. So you must correct it the other way around. So always be mindful in fixed wing RC aircraft. You will never and ever have a clean direction forward and backwards, left or right. No, you are always combining any of these things. Once you get in the air, there's no need for sharp turns or sharp curves. Once you push the aircraft in a certain configuration, say a simple or a little pitch up plus right, or pitch up plus left, or pitch down plus right or left, you are good to go. The aircraft stays in an arc and you are okay. If you roll too much, you lose lift. If you pitch too much, you stall. If you pitch forward too much, also you also crash. And so because you're going to pick up speed, you may break your wings, and that is fine. Now camera could come right in front. Here. All right. Now, for actual flight, it is much easier when the aircraft is ahead of you or you are standing behind the aircraft this way. In that manner, on your transmitter, left, of course, is left, then right is right, just as steering a car. Anybody and anyone can do that most easily. But the real difficulty is when the opposite happens, where you are in front and the aircraft is facing you. And how do we get that one done? In this case, if you apply left on your transmitter, the aircraft moves right relative to you. If you apply right, then the aircraft moves right relative relative to you. So what do? You always look at the wing that is going downwards. So if this is me, the aircraft is coming towards me this way, I will look at the wing that is going or dropping down. Then camera could come to the transmitter. I will push the transmitter towards that wing. So this right wing is going down. Then I'll push my transmitter leftwards towards it. That will cause the aircraft to bank left and it will stabilize. The opposite way, if this wing, which is the left wing, is banking down, I'll push my transmitter towards this wing for my view. And I'll push it right. the aircraft levels this way and then it flies forward. So that is the trick. That is the trick. When the aircraft is moving towards you, look at the wing that is going low and then push your rudder stick or aileron stick towards that wing to correct itself. Look at the other wing, if it's going down, push the stick towards it, then it will correct itself, then you get back level. So this is how we fly RC aircraft. Finally, finally, you will never ever have a situation where the plane flies straight forward. So you have to look at the pattern of airport traffic that you have in your area. Now in this lane, this is the runway. The prevalent wind comes from southwest this way. So this is the departure. Then we have the crosswind. Then we have downwind there. Then we also have the breeze, the final. When you are facing departure this way, the wind goes against you, and so the aircraft slows down. In that case, you are okay with the controls. When you bend leftwards into the crosswind, there is a right crosswind getting against you, so the aircraft wants to drift towards this direction. In that case, you need to apply opposite aileron, which is right aileron, and that balances the aircraft. Once you turn this way in the downwind, there is a tailwind behind the aircraft. You pick up very high speed. In that case, you need a little back elevator to increase the pitch up of the aircraft, and the same way for the land. That is how we fly fixed wing RC aircraft. Let's go back into the basics. One thing we have noted is that if you want to be a successful RC fixed wing pilot, first choose a model aircraft that is having a high wing. High wing in the sense that the center of gravity below, it has pendulum effect, the aircraft will be much stable, and then you'll be able to control it with ease. Two, do not go for a ground launch. You know, you have trouble trying to get the aircraft to move straight in the first place to get to the rotation speed. So get a hand launch aircraft with a little muzzle power. You're already in the air and you're already ready to go. Three, on the transmitter itself, do not worry about moving a radar. Airplanes are good with ailerons. Once you bank the aircraft, it will also yaw in that way. So on the transmitter on the right side, where you have your pitch and your roll, there is never a way, or there is never an incident where you have pure roll or pure pitch. No, you always have to combine. So you are always flying in these corners. You are always having to fly in these corners. Then you are pitching up and down, pitching plus rolling, and in that manner. And finally, make sure you observe the prevailing wind in your area so that you know what to do in any part of the uh, traffic pattern. So this is once again Time of the Engineer. Thank you for your attention today. Make sure you choose a very simple aircraft to fly. Fly, don't go for any complicated and difficult aircraft. You will break your plane, you will break your heart, and you will get discouraged. Something simple, practice, practice, practice. Of course, you will crash, but with time, you will be a better swimsuit as a pilot. Have nice flights and soft landings to you. Goodbye.